Need to talk matters royal. Hell of a lot going on. A warm welcome to our brilliant royal guru over there on the west coast of America in good old Los Angeles. She is the host of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered. Kinsey Schofield, welcome, Kins.
Hi, Kev. Yeah, I was just reading reports that Prince Harry is quietly encouraging Meghan to reach out to her father. Well, you know, your stint on Colbert last night kind of came off as pretty callous, so it's the least you could do.
Exactly right. Let's talk about that first. We've got lots to get into. I watched and wrote a review today of With Love and Meghan, the holiday special. As I just said, that's an hour of my life I'll never get back. I mean,
Do you know how many times she said I?
Oh, go on. Did you count them?
99. She said I 99 times.
Could have got to the 100. What's the matter with her?
I know, underachiever. And she changed outfits 12 times.
Unbelievable. But let's get into that show a little later. I've got a lot to say on a personal level. I'm doing a review tomorrow night on my show, What Just Happened. But just as we were getting ready, or just as we were watching all of this, getting ready to make this holiday TV special the sort of backbone of our coverage, along comes this shocking story that Meghan Markle's father, Thomas, 81 years old, he's suffered one heart attack, 2 strokes, now lives in the Philippines. He's in a Philippines hospital in intensive care, fighting for his life after emergency surgery on a blood clot. His son, his distraught son, Thomas Markle Jr., says he's on the edge. Doctors have told him he may not survive. So what we're looking for here, Kinsey, you can't blame Meghan, reluctantly, you can't blame Meghan for the fact Netflix released her show today. She wouldn't have known anything. That was just an unhappy coincidence. But the optics look bad. That on the day...
You can blame Meghan for, instead of acknowledging her father in the hospital, sharing videos of Prince Harry on Stephen Colbert. Not being funny. There
you go. You see, you're introducing another element into it, so that's why I need your input. But what we're looking for here, Kinsey, what we're looking for, I think, is a real matter of urgency. I think the world is looking. That guy is on the edge. He's 81 years old. He loved his daughter. They were very close. She hasn't spoken to him for 7 years. We're looking for Meghan Markle now, in her father's hour of need, for a slither of humanity. Get in touch, reach out, fly over there. For God's sake, it's your father. Do you think she'll do it?
No. I feel like there's nothing in it for her. She says in the Netflix series that she's lost her father. I think she had, well, first of all, I don't know if you've seen the big drama over here in the States over Oprah Winfrey, basically cutting off your family. She's basically calling that cutting off your family the new trend.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, she's been accused of inappropriately framing this debate about no contact with your family members and making it a cultural trend instead of allowing it to, or instead of giving it the seriousness that we need. You know, we need to debate why people are just so willing to cut off family members for something as stupid as who they vote for. You know, like, it's a real conversation that needs to be had culturally. It's not just this trendy thing like Ozempic that Oprah Winfrey is going to jump on board. And who is one of the people that we believe is a strong influence in Meghan Markle's life? Oprah Winfrey, talking about casually going no contact with family members. I mean,
so we know why she cut him off. It is, ostensibly, it was because, what was it, 7 years ago, just before the fairy tale marriage in 2018, in those happy days when we all loved Harry and Meghan. Her dad was going to come to the wedding, but he got talked into doing some pretty stupid pictures by a paparazzi photographer, a British guy called Jeff Rayner. Don't blame him.
Yeah, a 70-year-old man who was getting papped walking outside with a six-pack was accosted by a photographer with an agenda. And he said, "Do you want me to change your public image? The only way to change public perception of you is I'm going to snap you around town, getting dressed up for the wedding, researching Britain." And
he fell for it.
He fell for it. I mean, he's an older man that was concerned about embarrassing his daughter by what was going out about him that he had no control over and had no idea was happening. He didn't realize he was being papped walking out of the local drugstore with a case of beer. He would find out about it later when he would be chastised by Harry and Meghan. He had no idea how to manage the amount of attention that was all of a sudden thrust on him and his family. And he also didn't know, it's my opinion, that the photographer was going to go off and sell these photographs for an ungodly amount of money and not give him a cut. Like, he was paid a flat fee. Yeah. He didn't realize that this guy was making an ungodly amount of money on his
because he was a lamb to the slaughter. He was an innocent. He didn't know how to handle the media. I don't blame Jeff Rayner. That's the way it goes. But you really, really shouldn't blame Thomas Markle, and yet Meghan did and still does, has not spoken to him since then. He's reached out to her time and time again. They used to be very close when she was a kid. He brought her up, for God's sake. He's never met his grandchildren, and bizarrely, weirdly, he's never met Harry. And there he is, 81 years old, teetering on the edge, to be brutally frank about it. And you think she will not even now show a bit of humanity and reach out to him? Surely, Kens.
No, I think that if she is surrounded by these women like Oprah Winfrey, who are glamorizing going no contact with your family, are glamorizing victimhood, these women are sitting around with each other, sharing their woe is me tales about family members that did them wrong. She probably has a support system around her that are encouraging her to ignore the headlines. I mean, how else can you justify a woman sharing an idiotic video of her husband and Stephen Colbert today?
So when she, I didn't know about this element. When she shared this video, because we'll talk about his appearance, unexpected appearance on Stephen Colbert last.
I knew it was happening.
Well,
you guys
no, but when she shared, yeah, no, I get that. Well, okay, I didn't, but I don't think anybody did on this side of the Atlantic anyway. So my point is, though, when she shared those pictures of the videos of Harry on the TV last night, today, she must have known about her dad. So she's done that,
yeah,
after she knows that her dad is fighting for his life. Is that the chronology? Is that the chronology? Is that what we're saying here?
That is yes. Around this time yesterday, it started hitting the American media outlets that Thomas Markle had an emergency, an emergency situation, and so I started. If I'm getting calls, I can guarantee you Meredith Maines over at Archwell is getting calls asking for a reaction. Yeah.
Well, if this is the case, that she's been told that her dad, let's face it, may be dying, that is the story, and rather than reach out to him, rather than even go over to see him, her reaction is, right, I've got better things to do. I'm going to post some pictures of my husband on the TV last night. If that's the chronology, does she even realise how terrible those optics are?
This is the same couple that sat on the Oprah Winfrey set in their friend's backyard in the middle of a global plague while Prince Philip was in the hospital dying. Do you hear yourself right now?
Yeah, no, I get it. But that, all of that taken on board, this is a dreadful look, isn't it, on her part?
I think that they look callous. I think that they look cruel. They are always lecturing us about compassion and empathy, turn compassion into action. And Thomas Sr. can't even get a text message.
This is unbelievable. And meanwhile, of course, as I say, you can't blame her for the timing of the release of the With Love Meghan Holiday Celebration Special, whatever it's called. But it's full of, it's such a special time for family. And already I'm thinking, before I knew about Thomas Markle Sr., already I'm thinking, hang on, stop going on about your family. We know what you've done to your family. You, for 7 years, have sent your dear old dad to Siberia, and your half-brother, and your half-sister. You know, stop going on about the wondrous time of year for family when you clearly don't really care about your family. And now, even worse, your dad is dying, or maybe dying, and you, in essence, make it look as if you don't care by posting pictures of your husband on social media, on telly last night. That's extraordinary, Kinsey. It really is.
I mean, it's a lack of self-awareness.
Yeah.
Meghan doing a special about family unity might be the most fictional holiday tale since Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I mean, I believe that a reindeer exists that has a red nose before I believe that Meghan Markle has anybody that shares her DNA with her around her kitchen table come Christmas Day.
It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. Maybe a mum, I guess. Well, let's move on to the aforementioned appearance, cringeworthy appearance on The Late Show, hosted by Stephen Colbert on CBS. This happened last night in America. We've got a little clip. Let's have a look at this.
Look, I wouldn't say we're obsessed with royalty.
Really? I heard you elected a king.
That's a fair point. No, he's got a point.
And after making such a big deal about my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather George III.
Well, he was kind of a jerk.
Okay, let it go.
Ho, 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 be still my aching sides. Laugh, I thought I'd never start. But you know, that was embarrassing. It was something about Stephen Colbert was trying to cast a fictional film called something about the gingerbread prince or something, and he was looking for people to star in it, and along comes old Ginger Nuts and say, can I have a go? And Stephen Colbert goes, oh my God, it's you, and all this kind of stuff. Then all these jokes about Donald Trump. He made snide comments about, CBS, the host company, should never have settled that lawsuit when I'm wondering
if CBS settled the lawsuit with Mohammed Al Fayed when he sued them for showing pictures of Princess Diana dying in the backseat of a car. CBS, the only American media outlet to show images of Diana dying in the back of a car. I can't remember if CBS settled with Mohammed Al Fayed when he was so, and Diana's family too, saying that they were shocked by the fact that CBS would have the audacity to show images of dying Diana in the backseat of a car. Harry has no loyalty whatsoever. Stephen Colbert, the same Stephen Colbert who in the middle of Catherine's cancer battle went on and did a monologue accusing Prince William of cheating on his wife before we found out that Catherine had cancer, and never apologized for the accusations. The same Stephen Colbert. Prince Harry has no loyalty whatsoever while he sits back and demands it from his family. He is a coward. He is a loser. And the only thing, maybe there are a few things, but one of my favorite things he has in common with Stephen Colbert is the fact that they're both in the unemployment line, because come May 2026, Stephen Colbert no longer has a job. His show's been canceled.
They're also, both of them aren't funny. So what Colbert was doing, by the way, what's this Colbert? It's America, Colbert. Not Colbert.
Whatever his name is. I don't even care what his name is.
Who do you think you are, French? Anyway, he was casting for an imaginary film called Gingerbread Christmas Prince Saves Christmas in Nebraska, looking for an actor to play the role, and behind him is Prince Harry. How about me? And all these jokes, these right-on jokes about Donald Trump and so on and so forth. And, it was one of those. Never get non-actors, non-comedians to try and deliver funny lines. So Harry, the way he delivered the lines, the whole sketch, it didn't work to an extremely excruciating level. As I said in my intro earlier, it's one of those moments, you're watching it and you're going, oh God, you're just hoping that some hole will appear in the ground to swallow you up so you don't have to witness any more of this embarrassment. That's what it was like. But the one good thing, Kinsey, for old Ginger Nuts, was that they had fake snow falling a lot, and it covered his massive bald patch that is becoming more and more of an issue, isn't it?
I noticed it on the With Love Meghan special, and that's from a year ago, where she films with Harry in that kitchen. So I'm sure it's gotten progressively worse. But yeah, I think that I might have tolerated this type of skit with Jimmy Fallon, because Jimmy Fallon is a sweet man and has a sweet personality and history. But Colbert's taken swipes at the British royal family before. Harry knows that he's stirring the pot here. And, it's the royal family's soft power that makes them so essential. We always talk about the modern monarchy. What's their value? It is the soft power. President Trump walked away from one of his last encounters with King Charles, and he'd completely changed his opinion on support of Ukraine. That's historical. That's a historical moment. And then Harry goes and insults him. It's a slap in the face. And the palace had put such significant effort into the state visit for Trump and those diplomatic relations. And again, this is an insult to the current administration. And that's amazing to me that Harry would think that this was appropriate behavior, given the fact that President Trump agreed to ease up on Harry's immigration status and the chaos that ensued around how he allegedly illegally entered our country because of his personal relationship and respect for King Charles. I have a very petty president. That's not a political statement. It's a fact. You challenge him, and he's going to bite right back.
I hope so, Kinsey. I hope he does, because Harry would deserve it. He probably, who knows? Let's see what happens there. But you mentioned the Netflix Christmas special, or the holiday special as it's called. Was it Meghan Markle holiday celebration with Love Meghan?
Yes, because why would Meghan be bothered by putting the Christ in Christmas? Not one mention of anything religious whatsoever. She acts like she invented the holiday herself. Her holiday celebration.
Well, her God was in the show throughout. That's her. Now, we've seen the trailer before, but let's have a quick look at it.
I love the holiday season. It's about finding time to connect with the people we love.
Yeah.
Embracing traditions.
I like this.
There we go.
And making new ones.
We are now in the Christmas spirit.
It's pretty jolly here.
Let's go craft.
Heyo. It's so pretty.
So easy and elegant.
It's better the next day, and everything turns red.
It's so festive.
Being a hostess or a host,
It's about making people feel comfortable.
You can do things that make people feel a little bit more seen. See?
Let the festivities commence and embrace the special touches that bring you joy.
Should we see if this works? There we go.
1, 2, 3.
Oh! There we go.
Well, yesterday, Kinsey, I ploughed through the entire awful program. I mean, it's just... I'm not saying this. I'm not just saying this. You know, I used to watch television for a living for 12 years. I used to watch 35 hours a week. So it's one of the few areas of life I do know what I'm talking about. And I have never seen a more boring program in my life. It's basically Meghan in 2 rooms being visited by a succession of people she either doesn't know or barely knows. It's not her house. She says
was Naomi there doing community service? Well, I've never seen somebody look so miserable.
I mean, how random was that? Suddenly, one of her oh, look, It's Japanese tennis player Naomi Osaka. And Naomi Osaka, who obviously got a big fee for doing it, she looked like she'd rather be anywhere else in the world. I was watching with my wife Henrietta last night, and we were laughing our heads off. And at first I said, rather unkindly, I said, I think this Naomi Osaka might be the most boring person I've ever seen on television ever. And then I realised I was being really, really unfair to her. She's not at all boring. She was just bored. She was incredibly bored, and she's thinking, what am I doing in this stupid room painting plates with the Duchess of Sussex? She had no idea it was the most bizarre, random piece of telly that didn't work that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, watch Naomi pitch a fit on a tennis court, because that is visually stimulating, as she's, you know, been accused of unsportsmanlike conduct not too long ago. So she has a fire in her, but we certainly didn't see that.
She was stunned, wasn't she? You know.
Yeah. And you know, just like classic Meghan, you've got an actual interesting character in front of you that has accomplished so much, but Meghan wants to tell stories about how when she was young she couldn't throw a ball, and they wrote on her report card, not applicable, about throwing a ball.
That's right,
it's like, this is not about you, shut up.
Yeah. She goes to Naomi, should we go craft? Then Naomi looks as if she wanted to say, never mind, can we go craft? Can I just go? Can I just go?
She's like, you have some broccoli in your teeth. I want to go home.
Yeah,
by
the way, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, she had prepared for Naomi as a special treat. Broccoli, raw broccoli, formed into a circle in the manner of a kind of modern version of an edible Christmas wreath. And Naomi, who looked stunned looked particularly stunned by the suggestion that she was supposed to eat this. I mean, what the hell does Meghan... Who wants a circle of broccoli and a bit of dip to put it in? You know,
I mean, you were talking to the wrong person, because I love broccoli.
No, but not in the form of a Christmas wreath.
No, but I eat broccoli every single day of my life. I love it. So I'm probably not the best person to have this conversation with. But what I will say is, I want to say something positive about it. There were moments where I felt like Meghan was sincerely happy and she was sincerely enjoying herself.
Did you?
And yeah, and especially when she's not skipping around the Christmas trees. That's her putting on a show. But at the very beginning, you know, I really think she was happy. And I think that she's a perpetual victim. So I'll take any sort of shift when it comes to her emotional instability.
I thought you were going to say something else then.
Especially if she's happy.
Any sort of shift.
But there were... You can tell that this was filmed a year ago, and they filmed the rest of the garbage.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Sorry to interrupt, but I'll tell you why.
Gus, the dead dog.
Because of the only real star of the show for me, all those boring cooks and those two bizarre, tedious women in red pajamas all popping in. The only star of the show for me was Meghan's delightful little dog, Guy, who we know, sadly, died last January. So this must have been filmed 11 months ago or more. Contemporaneous, it ain't.
Well, but you also saw that they failed when it came to the edit process, because in season 1, it was all of the guests telling Meghan how great, beautiful, and perfect everything she was doing was, and there was no explanation. There were no experts there actually showing you how to do anything of value. Season 2, somebody got the memo. They changed the way they edited the show, so it was Meghan saying, "Oh, that looks really great," to actual experts that had earned their position as experts. And in this Christmas special, you've got her giggly girlfriends in their pajamas sitting around going, yum, that looks beautiful. Yeah. And it's the biggest complaint you had from season 1, that Meghan hasn't done enough to establish herself as an expert, and you've got all of these people standing around her just telling her how great she is and what she's doing is. The highlight of the entire episode, and I apologize for not knowing this chef's name because he clearly deserves my respect, is the chef that comes in and cooks the cod. He is so, he's a business-oriented guest. He comes in, he just wants to cook the cod. He's not trying to become friends with Meghan Markle. Harry enters the room. He doesn't give a damn. He's like, okay.
I smell gumbo.
Oh gosh, I'm so glad they let you out of the basement, Harry. Congratulations. You get to see the sunlight for 3 minutes. And he was a great guest, and he was a great guest because he was authentic and he was there to do a job. He did that job. He executed it perfectly, and he was an actual expert. But when Meghan is in the position of being the expert, the show is just, it's not tolerable at all, because you're not buying it. You're like, this woman is here because she married a prince, not because she's excellent at gumbo.
No, and that sort of bald chef guy, he did make up a salad. I never thought I'd agree with Prince Harry, but I certainly did. It was a salad made up of beetroot, or beets as you call it.
Oh, I thought it looked great. I thought it looked
hang on a second. Now, you and I are going to disagree on this. So it had beetroot, as we call them, beets, as you call it, pickled vegetables.
Beets are so good to you.
Yeah, hang on a second. Anchovies. God, I hate anchovies. Pickled vegetables. I don't like those either.
Olives.
Oh, God, I hate olives. So Harry came in and he said, oh, that's the anti-salad, because everything in that salad he hated. And I've got to say, this is the one issue that me and Harry are on the same page on. I couldn't stand the look of that salad. But
one of the reviews said that he probably had the palate of his children, and he probably only eats chicken nuggets with ketchup and a juice box or something to that effect. And I was like, oh my God, that's so true. I bet he does only eat chicken. This is the same man that requests hot chocolate when he goes into executive meetings.
It's Tom Colicchio, by the way, is the name of that chef. And there was another guy on earlier on called Will Guidera.
Oh God, so annoying.
Wait a second. That guy, obviously, Meghan spent most of the show spewing indecipherable Californian psychobabble claptrap, and in comes Will Guidera, who's almost as bad as her. I mean, some of the stuff he came out with was just mind-bogglingly stupefying.
He honestly just repeated what she said, but with different words. They were like mirroring each other. I wanted to vomit in my mouth.
And then it shows she introduced him to the British tradition of Christmas crackers. And
thank God Meghan Markle spent.
So what they do is they all. It's cross arms.
I'm so glad that Meghan spent such a significant amount of time in Britain to learn their Christmas culture. That she spent 2 years there, and now she's trying to hijack. No, you know what Christmas is for Meghan Markle? It's 2019, Kevin, when she takes Archie away from Queen Elizabeth and doesn't allow the Queen to spend that first Christmas with Archie. Yep. And she's sitting in Canada scheming SussexRoyal.com and putting their list of demands together, because she's about to wreak havoc on a historical institution and tear a family apart. That's what Christmas is to Meghan Markle.
Yeah, and so she says that when we do this with our arms and we pull the crackers, I mean, not that many people bother doing that, really. We just do it like that. She said it's actually feels really connected. Anyway, so she starts with Will Guidera, who also spews nothing but psychobabble claptrap. She starts making them, laboriously folding bits of cardboard and papers, and she turns to the camera and says, "You can buy these. You can also buy these pre-made." What do you mean you can also buy these pre-made? Everybody buys them pre-made. Nobody makes their own crackers. They're not that important to us. But according to Meghan and now Will Guidera, they are the cornerstone of
I
British...
don't even want to know where else Meghan Markle is hiding love letters after that special, okay? Don't tell me where else Meghan Markle is hiding love letters. Ask her OBGYN, but I don't want to know where else Meghan Markle is hiding love letters after seeing all the places she hides love letters on that series.
Yeah, that's right. She makes everything. So she makes her own advent calendar, which is this sort of droopy sack thing that she puts personal messages saying, look, I've written in here, I love you because you're brave. Oh, great, thanks. And she writes something to Harry and puts in a little hat and a little chocolate, which will match his little intellect. He'll enjoy that, won't he? Hey, Kinsey, I've got to go because we've spoken too long, but that was a hell of